Good morning, students. This is class 11th, subject chemistry, chapter 3, classification of elements and periodicity in properties. And this is lecture number 3. So topics of today's lecture are SPTF block elements and homework solution of lecture number 2. So we will begin with S block elements. What are S block elements? Elements in which the last electron enters the s orbital of their respective outermost shell are called s block elements. You see, in this periodic table, group number 1 and group number 2 elements are known as s block elements because in s shell one orbital is present and in one orbital two electrons can be filled. Okay, that is why we can write general electronic configuration of s block element as ns1 to 2. Okay, here value of n can be 2 to 7. Now when we write electronic configuration, then last electron enters in the s orbital of these two groups. That is why these two groups comes under s block element. Now general characteristics of s block elements. So number 1 is that they are soft metals with low melting and boiling points. Group number 1 elements are known as alkali metals and group number 2 elements are known as alkaline earth metals. These elements are so soft, like for example sodium, that we can cut it with the help of knife. Now second point is that they have low ionization enthalpy and high electropositive. It means that we can easily remove electron from the outermost shell of these elements. Number 3, they lose a valence electron readily to form +1 and +2 ions. In group 1 element, the general electronic configuration is 1s1. Okay? Or 2s1, 3s1, 4s1, 5s1 and so on. So we can write it as ns1. So now one electron is present in s orbital. So it can easily lose that electron and it will acquire positive charge. That is why these elements are known as electropositive. In the same way, group 2 elements, they have 2 electrons in the s orbital. So they can remove 2 electrons and they can acquire positive charge. That is why these elements are electropositive in nature. Fourth point, that they are very reactive metals. The metallic character and the reactivity increase as we move down the group. Because of high reactivity, they are never found pure in nature. These elements are very reactive because they can easily lose one electron which is present in the outermost shell. And when we go top to down, then size increases. As the size increases, then these elements can remove electron easily. For example, cesium is present here down the group, so it has large size, and lithium is present here above the group. Okay, so that means it has small size. So cesium can lose electron easily as compared to lithium. That is why cesium is more reactive. So reactivity increases as we move down the group. Now fifth point is the compound of s block elements with the exception of those of beryllium are predominantly ionic. These elements are ionic in nature, that means they can easily convert into ions. Whenever any element acquire any charge, positive or negative, then it is known as ion. So group 1 and 2 elements can easily lose electron, so they can acquire positive charge. That is why they are ionic in nature. Now these ions can easily make bond with another ion. Okay, so these cation will easily form bond with an ion. We will study about ionic ions or ionic compounds. Fifth point is the compound of s block elements with the exception of those of beryllium are predominantly ionic. Ionic compounds means that they can form easily ionic bond. For example, NaCl. Here you can see that Na that means sodium, acquire positive charge and it is forming bond with chlorine. Chlorine acquires negative charge. So between Na positive and Cl negative, there is ionic bond. Okay, so these are ionic compound. 6th point, most of the metals except beryllium and magnesium of this block impart characteristic colors to the flame. When we burn these elements on Bunsen burner, then they will show color. 7th point, all are good conductors of heat and electricity. They can easily conduct electricity. But as they are soft metals, so we cannot use them in our household. Next topic is p block elements. What are p block elements? Elements in which the last electron enters any one of the three p orbitals of their respective outermost shell are called p block elements. So group number 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18 comes under p block elements. You can see in the periodic table that group number 13 to group number 18. They are known as p block element. You know very well that in p subshell there are three degenerated orbitals. What is degenerated orbital? Those orbitals which have same energy, they are known as degenerated orbitals. So in three degenerated orbitals, 6 electron can be filled. 6 electron means 6 groups are present in p block elements. Now, general characteristics of p block element. So first is p block elements include both metals and non-metals, but the number of non-metals is much higher than that of metals. In group, when we go top to down, then metallic character increases because metallic character depends on the tendency to lose electron. And I have already told you that the element which are present down the group, they can easily lose electron. Okay, but when we go left to right, the metallic character decreases. Or you can say that non-metallic character increases from left to right. Now second point is the ionization enthalpies are relatively higher as compared to those of s block elements. You will study about ionization enthalpy in next topic. Now third point is that they mostly form covalent compounds. Covalent compounds are those compounds which are formed by sharing of electrons. Next is some of them show more than one oxidation state in their compound. For example, arsenic. You can see here the arsenic is present here. Okay, it can show two oxidation state, -3 as well as +5. In the same way, germanium, selenium, they can also show two oxidation state. So there are some elements which can show more than one oxidation state. Now next topic is d block elements. What are d block elements? The elements in which the last electron enters any one of the 5d orbitals of their respective penultimate shell are called d block elements. Now penultimate shell means second last shell. Okay, that is why it is written like in this way, n-1. Since a d subshell has 5d orbitals, each one of which can accommodate 2 electrons, and the general electronic configuration of d block element is n-1d 1 to 10 ns 0 to 2. This is last shell and this is second last shell. This is why it is known as penultimate shell. Second last shell is known as penultimate shell. Now in d block element, group number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 comes. So you can see here the group number 3 to group number 12. Okay, they are d block elements. Now we will study their properties. So general characteristics of d block elements, they are hard, malleable and ductile. They are good conductors of heat and electricity. Their ionization enthalpies are between s and p block elements. S block elements have low ionization enthalpy, p block elements have high ionization enthalpy, and d block elements have ionization enthalpies between s and p block elements. Ionization enthalpy means the energy required to eject electron in their ground state. Next point, they show variable oxidation state. Fifth point is they form both ionic and covalent compounds. Sixth, Most of the transition metals such as vanadium and chromium are used as catalysts. Okay, catalysts are those substances which can increase the rate of a reaction or speed of a reaction. Now, 7th point, their compounds are generally colored and paramagnetic. Paramagnetic means they can show magnetic behavior. Next point, they form colored complex. Okay, so these are the elements which can form colored complex. Their compounds are used as catalyst. We have already discussed this point. Next is most of the transition metals forms alloys. They can easily mix with other metals and they can form alloys. Now next is F-block elements. So the elements in which the last electron enters any one of the 7 f orbitals of their respective anti-penultimate shell are called F-block elements. Anti-penultimate shell means last third shell. Okay, that is why we can write it as n-2. In all these elements, the s orbitals of the last shell is completely filled. The d orbitals of the penultimate shell, that means second last shell, invariably contain 0 or 1 electron, but the f orbitals of the anti-penultimate shell gets progressively filled in. Okay, general electronic configuration of F-block element is n-2 F0 to 14. So you can see here that f orbitals are progressively filled from 0 to 14 and d orbitals are filled from 0 to 2 and then ns2. This is last shell, this is second last shell and this is last third shell. Okay, now general characteristics of F-block elements. They are heavy metals. They have generally high melting and boiling points. They show variable oxidation state. That means they can show more than one oxidation state. Their compounds are generally colored. So that's all for today, students. Now we will discuss homework which was given in lecture number 2. So I gave you question number 3. State difference between Manley's approach for periodic law and the modern approach for the periodic law. So according to Manley's approach of periodic law, chemical properties and physical properties of the elements are the periodic function of the atomic mass of the corresponding elements. And according to modern approach for the periodic law, chemical properties and physical properties of the elements are the periodic function of their atomic number. Next question, on the premise of the quantum numbers, verify that the sixth period of periodic table ought to have 32 components. In sixth period, these orbitals are present 6s, 4f, 5d and 6p. Okay, in S shell, one orbital is present, so you will write here 1. In F shell, 7 orbitals are present. In D shell, 5 orbitals are present. And in P shell, 3 orbitals are present. So in total, there are 16 orbitals. In one orbital, we can fill 1 electron. In one orbital, we can fill 2 electrons. So in 16 orbital, we can fill 32 electrons. So total 32 elements are present in sixth period. Okay, so you will write answer as, in a periodic table containing elements, a period show the value of principal quantum number n for the furthest shell. Every period starts with the filling with the principal quantum number, and n value for the sixth period is equal to 6. Now for n is equal to 6, the azimuthal quantum number, which is represented by L, can have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 values, because formula is 0 to n minus 1 and n is 6. So 0 to 5, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values. As indicated by Aufbau's rule, electrons will be added to various orbitals according to their increasing energies. Here the 6d subshell is having much higher energy than the energy of 7s subshell. So in the sixth period, the electrons can occupy in just 6s 4F, 5D and 6P subshell. Okay, I have explained this topic, this paragraph already to you. Now, as indicated by Pauli's exclusion, one orbital can only accommodate maximum 2 electrons. Okay, so that means total 32 electrons are present and 32 elements are present in 6th period. Now, next question is, in groups and periods of periodic table, where will you find the elements which is having Z equal to 114? So, now you have to locate this element whose atomic number is 114. So elements whose atomic number is from 87 to 114, they are available in 7th period. You can see in the periodic table, okay, from 87 to 114 elements are present in 7th period, okay. Now 87 and 88 are present in S block and 89 to 103 elements, they are present here, okay. That means elements whose atomic number is 113 to 118 are present in P block. Okay, so 113 is 13th group. So that means 114 is 14th group. Therefore, the element Z equal to 114 is available in the 7th period and 14th group in the periodic table. Next question is, what is the atomic number of element keeping in mind both the cases given below? Element is in 3rd period of periodic table. Element is in 17th group of the periodic table. If you will look at the periodic table, then in 3rd period and 17th group, the element is chlorine. This is 3rd period and 17th group, so this is chlorine. Okay. 7th question, which element are named by Seaborg's group? So answer is Seaborgium, whose atomic number is 106, Lawrence Berkeley Laboratory. So atomic number of lawrencium is 103 and berkelium is 97. Question number 8, elements present in the same group are having similar chemical and physical properties. Why is it so? Because the element which has same valence electron or same number of electron in their last shell, they will show similar properties. That is why elements present in the same group are having similar chemical and physical properties. So that's all for today, students. Your homework of lecture number 3 is that you have to read chapter number 3 from NCERT book. If you have any doubt or queries, you can email me. Thank you and have a nice day.